Mark Meadows, of course, a very big backer of Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from the fine state of North Carolina. What I always love about the congressman, I don't mean to embarrass him, he has a backbone here. He challenged the party leadership over issues that were important to him. They ostracized him, took him off a committee, locked him in a broom closet, but they all folded like cheap suits, got him out of the broom closet. I hope got him a bigger office, but he's joining us right now. Congressman, good to have you.
It's great to be back with you, Neil. Thanks so much.
All right. So your guy represents, you think, the spirit of that in-your-face challenge the party establishment, because it's that party establishment that is now saying Cruz is not the guy to win. Bob Dole saying that he'd be a divider, not a uniter. Others echoing much the same sentiment. John McCain saying a Cruz nomination, we'd lose the Senate. You know what they're saying. You say what?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you think that Washington, D.C. is going in the right direction, then you need to vote for somebody else. Senator Cruz believes, like I do, that Washington, D.C. is broke. We need to set a new direction. And he's been willing to fight in the privacy of private rooms without cameras or microphones. His message has been consistent, and that is we need to return the government back to
Congressman,
the people.
He hasn't done it in the privacy of that caucus. Maybe he has, but he's more known for doing it in public and embarrassing party leaders. Is there a better way of doing that to advance the cause? I mean, Ron, a pretty conservative fellow, was pretty good at getting his way without making it look that obvious.
Well, and I love history, Neil, and if you look at Ronald Reagan, some of his most defining moments were when he took a position that was opposite of the establishment. True. Really, he wasn't an establishment candidate, and yet we celebrate him as one of the greatest presidents in modern history.
Well, no, but I know what you're saying. A microphone moment is famous, certainly in this state, but other issues when he became president, Congressman, was that he would craft deals with Tip O'Neill and others and meet him in the family residence and talk over things, and famously saying, I'd rather get 80% of a loaf than no loaf at all. You know the drill, that he had a way, and maybe that comes to a guy once he's elected president or a woman, that you understand the decorum of the office and the requirements of the office to dodge and weave and make deals with folks. Do you think Senator Cruz is that type of guy, or would it be his way or the highway?
Well, obviously, you have a valid point, Neil, and I think here's the defining difference. When Senator Cruz, if he is elected president, he understands the role of Congress, both in the Senate and the House, and that they need to work their will and the will of the people and not have an overarching or overreaching executive branch. And I think that that's one of the defining differences in some of the candidates, is that really we want to put the proper balance there in terms of the executive branch and the legislative branch.
So you don't think it would be divisive? Let's say if Cruz staggers in this state, and he might not. You remind me, the only poll that matters is that on Election Day. But he hasn't been polling well. He's slipped a little since Iowa. But again, they're all bunched up. Do you think that his real battleground will be the South, that he's better suited for the South, has the manpower and the ground game for the South, so he can lead this state even if he's beaten up? Okay.
Well, I mean, certainly a top 5 finish in New Hampshire would be certainly something that we would hope for. But the other part of that, Neil, is not just the South. We've got people across the country coalescing around Senator Cruz, but certainly in North Carolina and South Carolina, the ground game for him is unparalleled. I can tell you, even in New Hampshire, the ground game is if he runs the country the way he does his campaign, we'll have a successful person in the White House.
What if he doesn't?
You know, I believe, I know him personally. I believe that he will. I mean, obviously, I've been very surprised in North Carolina. He's got grassroots support in all 100 counties already, and we're still over 30 days out from the primary there. So he's a planner. He's someone who will plod and make sure that he has the great ground game. But not only that, I think the other thing is he's been willing to fight the fight on behalf of the American people when it wasn't popular. You and I both know that when you take a stand, you're going to get criticized here in Washington, D.C. Someone who is willing to stand in there and take the heat is someone that deserves our
yeah, but
support.
you took a stand and were still pleasant, so there's a difference here. But I'm just joking. You know, I'd be remiss as a North Carolina congressman. What do you make of Cam Newton's behavior after the game? Me, I think he came across as a sore loser. You?
Well, I think that we have a responsibility, those who are in the spotlight, to make sure that we set an example for the generations to follow, and certainly making sure that we show good sportsmanship is what it's all about. You know,
so
that's
you think he acted like a baby, right?
I think that he should have.
You were humiliated as a Carolinian, right?
Well, I wasn't humiliated, but certainly I thought he should have responded differently.
Right. This apparently was from the Super Bowl game, which was this past Sunday. All right, Congressman, thank you very, very much. We always appreciate it.
Neil, good being with you.